Hello everybody, welcome back to Wade's Movie World. Okay, before I start anything on this video, let me apologize because this video is about 6 months late. This is the video of my top 10 best or favorite movies of 2022. This video I had planned to get done back in December of 2022 or early January of 2023, but it didn't happen for whatever reason. I just got busy and stuff started happening, and so I just had to postpone it. I didn't mean to postpone it for this long, but here I am. I am doing it now for you guys and for myself to clear it off the whole agenda and say, okay, finally got that done. I can check it off. So again, this video is my top 10 best or favorite movies of 2022. Not this year, last year, 2022. Okay? So, with all that being said right now, let's go ahead and get started at number 10. Number 10 is Downfall, The Case Against Boeing. Now, this movie is more like a documentary type movie. It's filmed and put together like a documentary because basically it is. It is the story about Boeing and how when their company started, they had great success for a long time, and then once another airline company or airplane manufacturing company bought them out, which was McDonnell Douglas, the company started having a lot of problems. And then a few years back, I think the problems started maybe in 2018 or 2019, they really started having really serious and deadly issues and consequences for what was going on within that company. And that was when they released the Boeing 737 MAX plane. And two planes had crashed due to a new system that was installed inside those planes. Basically, the computer systems of this new program inside the cockpit would basically take over flying for the pilot, but it would do things that the pilot wasn't aware of or didn't know how to compensate for what it was doing, and it resulted in two deadly crashes where everyone on board those two planes, which were 737 MAXs, perished. And so basically, Downfall, The Case Against Boeing is a whole documentary about how Boeing had great success for so long, and then all of a sudden it just kind of started going downhill. And then once they made the 737 MAX planes, it just took, I mean, no pun intended, a literal nosedive into the ground. So a really powerful documentary film. If you like anything about aircraft or airlines or things like that, or you enjoy watching those episodes about the NTSB investigations of how airplanes crash or why airliners crash, then I think you'll really enjoy this one. I enjoyed it. It's probably a documentary film that I would recommend and would probably watch again. So at number 10, Downfall, The Case Against Boeing, and you can find that on Netflix, or as far as I know, you can find that on Netflix. That's where I watched it. At number 9 is DC's League of Super Pets. This was really a film that I was anticipating right when I saw the very first trailer for it, and so after I saw that trailer, I was really looking forward to it, and I went in and enjoyed the movie, had a great time at it, kept my attention for the whole thing. I have some little nitpick things about it, but other than that, I thought it was a great film with a great story, great action, great characters, and just an all-around fun family superhero / super pets movie. So at number 9, DC's League of Super Pets. At number 8, we have the remake of the 1984 film Firestarter. And I saw the 1984 film not too long ago, really enjoyed it. I thought Drew Barrymore was great. And then I went and watched this one. I didn't see this one in theaters. I saw this one here at home on home video. And I really enjoyed it. Didn't have as much substance to it as the original film did, but it was still a really good film, and I really liked all the actors in it, and I thought they did a good job of portraying the characters. It kind of takes a little bit of a different angle in the plot line as compared to the original movie. But all in all, I liked it. The ending was kind of left ambiguous, so it kind of left me scratching my head. But other than that, I think it's a really good film. I really enjoyed it, and it's one I would watch again. So at number 8, Firestarter. At number 7, Fall. This movie, I remember I was in a movie theater. I was watching, I don't remember what the movie was I was watching, but I remember seeing the trailer of it. And the trailer, all it does is it shows this visual of we're going up, 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 up. Like we just keep going up this radio tower thing, and it just shows how far off the ground this thing is. And then the trailer begins after that and shows, what the film's about. And I remember just really getting sucked into that trailer and thinking, I want to see this movie. So I went into the theater, saw this movie, and man, what a ride this movie was. Loved this film. I thought it was sharp. I thought it was great. I thought the story was wonderful. I thought the visuals were great. Now, I will tell you, I'm not a person that likes heights at all. So there were more than a couple of times I had to turn my head away and close my eyes just because of some of the camera shots and the camera angles would show the height at which these two characters are at, and it would literally almost give me motion sickness. So if you have a problem with heights, this may not be a good movie to see in the theater, but it would be a good movie to watch at home, I think. I mean, this movie gets the adrenaline flowing, and it had mine flowing throughout the film. And the film even starts out with something, crazy happening. So it, once the film starts, I mean, it grabs you with this one event, and it's like hold on for the ride, and then it just pulls you in. You're just like, whoa, what the heck, and it doesn't let you go until the end credits start rolling. There's only one thing I have to say about this movie that I didn't like. It was kind of a love triangle type thing, which I was like, that's not needed. Why does this have to be put in this movie? Let's just focus on the situation at hand that these two characters are in and let that be the story. Don't bring in this damn love triangle. That's stupid. So, anyway, but Fall, loved it. Thought it was great, even though there were times I had to turn my head because of those different camera shots and angles that I was telling you guys about. Is it a movie that I want to buy? Yes, absolutely. I haven't bought it yet. I probably will soon. I'm probably going to have to order it, though, because I can't find it anywhere in any store around here. So I'm probably going to have to order it off Amazon or eBay or somewhere. So anyway, at number 7, Fall. At number 6, Scream 5. I saw the trailer to this movie, and I was like, okay, Scream 4 is not great. It's not good. It's just okay. So I was really worried about Scream 5 going in. Went to see it, and I was blown away by it. I thought, what a great new way to re-energize the Scream franchise. And they did it right. And they did it in a way that's relevant to today's technology, since most people don't have landlines anymore. Fell in love with the story. Liked most of the new characters. There were one or two characters I didn't particularly like all that much, but the others I really, really liked. I was so glad to see Dewey back. I was so glad to see Gail back, and I was so glad to see Sydney back. So it was great to see our main three characters from the original 4 movies back in action, along with our new characters. A lot better than Scream 4 was. So if you like horror movies, if you like the first 3 Scream movies, and maybe even number 4, I think you're going to like Scream 5, because I did. And it just puts you back in that situation of, who do you trust? Anyone could be this killer. We don't know who it is yet, and we got to figure it out before more people start dying. At number 6, Scream 5. Number 5, Avatar 2, The Way of Water. This movie has been anticipated by so many people for so long, since the first movie came out back in the year 2009. So think about how long of a wait that is. That was 2009 that the first one came out, and we're now at 2022. Yeah, that's a long time. So with what James Cameron was trying to do with this second movie, he had to wait for the technology to catch up. That way he could make this film. I thought it was an interesting idea for a film, interesting way to take it. I will say one thing, I didn't think this one needed to be as long as the first one, and it was. I thought there was a lot of stuff that they could have cut, and it still would have worked. I loved the visuals of this film. The story was okay for the most part. I loved that they brought Sigourney Weaver back, but she wasn't reprising her role as Dr. Grace Augustine. Now, there are shots and flashbacks and little scenes of Dr. Grace Augustine in this movie, but Sigourney Weaver's main role in this film is a totally, completely different character, and she really immersed herself in this character and blew me away. I mean, I'm a huge Sigourney Weaver fan. I love that woman. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's a great actor. I mean, it was just incredible what she did. And I just thought the way they took the story was an interesting way. And all in all, I really liked it, and I think a lot of other people did too. And I think if you haven't seen it, you guys will like it as well. I have a couple of complaints here and there, but I'm not going to talk about those right now until I actually do a review for Avatar 2. All right, at number 5, again, Avatar 2, The Way of Water. Number 4 is The Fabelmans. This is directed by Steven Spielberg, and this is basically the story of Steven Spielberg's life. It's just not called The Spielbergs, it's called The Fabelmans. It focuses on kind of how his life is portrayed through these characters in this film, and what he lived through and the things he went through as a child growing up, and how he became this great filmmaker that we know and love today, that created, such great movies, Jaws, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, so many others. I thought it was a brilliant movie. It's a slower burn movie, but it holds your attention, and the way he shoots it, and the visuals, and the color grading of this film is just breathtaking and beautiful. I thought this story was amazing to see, and I was always hoping Steven Spielberg would do a movie like this, and he did it, and I loved this movie. A lot of great standout performances by everyone in this movie, and I mean everyone. There's not a single actor in this movie that does not bring their A game. I mean, they are all on top of it. So if you like Steven Spielberg's movies, if you enjoy learning about him as a person and a filmmaker, and you haven't seen this movie, you need to see The Fabelmans. I guarantee you, you won't regret watching it. It's fascinating. Loved it. So at number 4, The Fabelmans. At number 3, we have Violent Night. This movie was something else, and it's something that I just absolutely loved when I saw the first trailer. It's basically Santa Claus being a hero and saving this little girl and her family from these really bad dudes who all they're after is this treasure and money in this house. And this little girl is able to talk to Santa through this special radio, and Santa realizes that she's on the good list, and so he vows to help this little girl and save her from these bad guys on Christmas Eve. I mean, this thing is bloody, it's violent, it's funny. I mean, this is not your typical Santa Claus. I mean, this is the furthest thing you would think of from Santa Claus, but oh my gosh. David Harbour does great in the Santa Claus role. So if you like just violent, bloody action movies and that take place at Christmas time, this is a movie for you. I freaking loved it. This is one of my new all-time favorite Christmas movies. But heck, I would watch it even, not at Christmas time. So, yeah. Number 3, Violent Night. Number 2, The Black Phone. So I've already done a review of this movie, and if you haven't seen my review, then you can go back and watch that review. I'm not going to say much about this, but let me just tell you, The Black Phone is worth the money. It's worth buying on either Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, or buying it to stream it, or renting it to stream on Netflix or whatever streaming service you have. Just a fantastic horror movie that takes place in the 1970s about this kidnapper they call the Grabber, who kidnaps kids. So if the kids don't play along with this game the way the Grabber wants, then he'll kill them. And I tell you what, the main star of this movie, Mason Thames, this kid knocked it out of the park with this movie. And so did Ethan Hawke, who plays the grabber. But I mean, oh my gosh, Mason Thames was the star of this movie. I can't wait to see what he does next in his career, but damn, he blew me away. And if you don't like horror movies or scary movies like this, it is at least worth seeing just to see his and Ethan Hawke's performance. Fantastic horror movie. I've already bought it, saw it twice in theaters, loved it. So at number 2, The Black Phone. And at number 1, my top number 1 best favorite movie for 2022 is Top Gun Maverick. What can I say that hasn't already been said about Top Gun Maverick? All I'm going to say is, if you liked the first Top Gun movie, you're going to love Top Gun Maverick. And I've always heard this, and I believe it's true to some extent, that it's hard for sequels, like a second movie, to be better than the original. But this one, oh man, this one kicks the original Top Gun's tail. I mean, I love the first Top Gun, but man, this one goes like 100 times further out there and is 100 times better than the original. Top Gun Maverick is a magnificent masterpiece. I can't say enough about it. Tom Cruise and the entire cast were just amazing. The story was amazing. The visuals were amazing. It takes you on a thrill ride from beginning to end, and it doesn't let up until the end credits roll. So, at number 1, Top Gun Maverick. Okay, those are all my top 10 best or favorite movies of 2022. Comment down below and let me know your list of your top 10 movies for 2022. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I always enjoy making these videos. I'm sorry again that this was so late, but I still hope you enjoy it nonetheless. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to say good night. God bless. I love all of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.